Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm super happy to be back talking about LEGO Marvel Minifigures Series 2. This series looks amazing. These were officially revealed a few weeks ago, and I know I said I wouldn't be doing LEGO related videos anymore. You can check out my recent community post for more information, but the gist of it is that I'm now a LEGO employee, so I just didn't know if I would be able to continue making videos as a fan. So I want you guys to know that all opinions on this site are my own. They don't necessarily reflect the views of the LEGO Group, and LEGO is a registered trademark of the LEGO Group, and they do not sponsor, authorize, or endorse this site. I'm really happy to be talking about this series though, because I honestly think it looks even better than Series 1. And I did really like Series 1, I just thought that a couple minifigures could be a bit better, like Scarlet Witch, who's my favorite Marvel character, but I don't really have any complaints about the minifigures in this series. I think that they all look really cool. It is based on the Disney Plus shows again. This is the first CMF series to come in cardboard packaging. That's a big switch. I do personally support it. I feel like it's really important to be sustainable, and the cardboard packaging is a step in that direction. It does suck that we can't feel for minifigures anymore in the bags, but honestly, I feel like it's a small price to pay for being more environmentally friendly, and also it doesn't affect me, so selfishly, I buy a full box of the series that I like anyway. I bought 2 full boxes of this series actually, and I will be buying random packs as well. So personally, it doesn't really affect me. I get why other people are upset, but I haven't been feeling minifigure bags since like the start of the pandemic, really. So there are 12 minifigures in this series again. I'm sure you guys have seen these already because like I said, they were revealed several weeks ago, but I just had to talk about them because I'm such a big Marvel fan. So I'm actually going to go to the close-ups that are elsewhere on this page. And I guess we'll just start in order of who it's showing. So I forget how many shows are covered in this series. I think it's like at least 5, right? We have Echo, She-Hulk, What If Season 2 represented here by Goliath. Then we have Hawkeye, Moon Knight, X-Men 97, WandaVision, kind of slash Agatha, Coven of Chaos, and then Werewolf by Night. So that's 8 Disney Plus projects, actually. So we're going to start over here with these 3. I think that Echo looks incredible. This is actually our first look at her new suit. We don't even know, we've never seen this design for her TV show. And I'm just really impressed because she has 2 new molds and arm printing and dual molded arms. It's really, really awesome. I love that new hair mold. I never would have expected LEGO to make a new hair mold for Echo because to me, it's similar enough to existing hair molds, but I really like that there's a new piece because you guys know I love new hair molds. Then I think her prints are really cool. Her new prosthetic leg piece, also, again, like I thought that that was going to be the same prosthetic leg piece as the one that came in LEGO City or something really similar, but no, it's completely new. And I think it looks great. So even though I don't really know how I feel about the Echo show yet because we haven't seen a trailer for it, I love this figure and it makes me excited for the series. She-Hulk looks pretty perfect. The problem with She-Hulk and Moon Knight to me is just that I keep comparing them in my head to the Firestar Toys custom design minifigures. And so to me, they don't feel as new because I already have third-party custom minifigures of them. But they still look really awesome. And honestly, it makes me want to stop buying third-party custom minifigures because I wish I was more excited about them. I think She-Hulk looks pretty perfect. Love her green hairpiece. Love the prints. Like the torso and leg print is great. I really like the side printing on the arms and the legs. She has cool accessories. I love that she's calling Wong on her cell phone. And overall, it's just a very solid figure. I do like She-Hulk. She's one of my favorite new characters in the MCU. I just think it's because I have a custom minifigure of her that it doesn't feel as fresh to me. And again, that's just disappointing. That's on my end, you know, that's something I did to myself and it's something I need to keep in mind for the future. Goliath looks awesome. I did not need any What If characters in this series, I'll be perfectly honest. And he's a shocking inclusion to me from What If Series 2 because I would have assumed they would have done like a new variant of Captain Carter. But Goliath is really great. I love that helmet print. It's so cool. Still waiting for a wasp with that helmet mold. I love the torso and leg print. Again, side arm printing, side leg printing, just a very detailed figure. And there's the Ant-Man statuette, which is cute, but we've gotten so many of those at this point that like I can't really tell what's new about this one. It's just a nice inclusion. So all around 3 pretty great figures, although I do think it's weird to only have one What If Series 2 or Season 2 character when 5 of the previous minifigures in Series 1 were What If, and I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. Then we've got Hawkeye. Oh, and not all of the accessories are pictured here, because I know Kate comes with Lucky and Clint comes with a little baby owl. Kate looks perfect. I love getting this hair mold in black. I think the face is really cool too. Love the new mold for the bows, because I've been missing like the old compound bow mold that Hawkeye used to have that hasn't been used in several years. They do have quivers, which is awesome. Love that printed pizza dish. I think the printing on both of their torsos is great. I like that Kate has leg printing. I don't love that Clint doesn't. Like, I wish that he just had a little bit of leg printing, because this is a CMF figure, but he does have arm printing, which I think wasn't totally necessary, and he does come with that new baby owl mold and a new hair mold. I almost forgot to mention that. Another character that didn't need a new hair mold, but I love new hair molds, so I'm really, really glad to see that. Like, to me, these are the little touches that make CMF figures so great, is when we get new molds for things that could have been reused molds. So because of that, like, the lack of leg printing isn't as big of a deal to me. Then we've got Mr. Knight and Moon Knight. Mr. Knight looks pretty decent. Again, I've gotten, actually also for Clint and Kate, I've gotten all 4 of these figures as custom minifigures from other places, because I thought that LEGO would not be producing their own versions. But Mr. Knight and Moon Knight are really perfect. Like, I honestly feel like they're 2 of the best like superhero minifigures translated to Lego form that I've ever seen. So yeah, like the face print on Mr. Knight is great. Torso print, leg print, it's what you would expect because it's just a suit, but it's good. Love his silver batons. Moon Knight is, I think, tied for being my favorite minifigure in the series, because he is just breathtaking. His costume in the MCU is already amazing. Like, I think Moon Knight's costume is probably my favorite male costume in the MCU. Besides like the Iron Man suits. I just think it's really impressive, and it's also the only male costume in the MCU that's caught my attention in like all of Phase 4. So that's awesome. New mold for his hood as well. That's something I was hoping for, but again, didn't really think we'd see. So that's awesome. He does have an alternate face, which I don't know where the pictures of it are, but again, side leg printing, dual molded legs, side arm printing. It's excellent, because a figure like this could not be done justice in a regular set. Like, a figure with a suit as detailed as Moon Knight's design would never be satisfying, in my opinion, if it came without like arm and side leg printing. And so I'm really happy that he got the CMF budget, and I'm glad that he looks that great. Also love that we got a new mold for his crescent blade. That is so perfect, and I hope we get an extra of that in the box. And of course he has the scarab. Then, also I just said the scarab, and I just watched Blue Beetle, so to me that's like, those are like 2 completely different scarabs, but Moon Knight did have one. Then we've got the X-Men 97 figures, so I'm actually going to start with Wolverine because he's the main guy, like he's the main X-Man. I think he looks great. You know, I'm not a big Wolverine fan in general, not a huge X-Men fan in general, but same old helmet mold, that's totally cool. It works perfectly, and I'm just so happy to see more Lego X-Men after so many years of nothing. But again, he's just not that special to me, because we've gotten a standard Wolverine in like that mech set last year, right? So he's not as exciting to me as other inclusions in this series. That being said, he's done justice perfectly. You know, he has like the side arm printing with the hair, which is excellent. Same old claws. Great leg printing. I really like that leg print design. And this is a cool accessory. Getting the Sentinel head with the scratches on it. I am one of the lucky people to have the X-Jet set from 2014, so I'm going to slap that Sentinel head on the Sentinel build from that set and see how it looks. Then moving over to the left, we've got Storm and Beast. Beast looks good as well, but I've never been a big fan of Beast, so I just don't really care about him as a character. I mean, the prints are great. It's very detailed. No side arm printing, I think, for the fur. Like, I guess that's something where, you know, this figure could have just gone above and beyond. But he does have a new hair mold, which, again, don't think was totally necessary. He could have just reused the hair mold that Lego uses for Wolverine, which would have been perfectly fine. But a new hair mold is definitely very welcome. And in fact, this series has an obscene number of new hair molds. It's something like there's 2 in this image, there's 1 in that image, 1 here, 1 here. So what, that's, I can't do math, but that's 5 new hair molds out of 12 figures. and then 6 if you want to count the hood. So 6 new headgear molds out of 12 figures. That's excellent. That's amazing. So yeah, so Beast is cool, just not really my thing. Storm is very much my thing. I love the original Storm minifigure from 2014, and even though I've never seen like the animated series that the new X-Men 97 reboot is based off of, or revival I guess, because it's not really a reboot, Storm is incredible. Like holy crap, like I wish we saw this outfit in the X-Men movies, and I hope when she comes to the MCU she's wearing an outfit like that. It's the same cape, I think, as the 2014 version, which I also always loved because it goes over a minifigure's hands, which is something that's super unique. And I really like the yellow lightning bolts. I don't know if that piece has come in yellow before. The prints on her torso and legs are great, but I really love her face print and I love her hair. That mohawk is sick. The only thing I'm sad about with this figure is that I guess she doesn't have an alternate face because the mohawk wouldn't cover it. So I wish she had like an alternate face like crackling with lightning. But now that the X-Men are coming into the MCU, I'm sure we'll be seeing them a lot more in Lego form, and I can't wait to get more minifigures of Storm because this is just perfect. So she's also like tied for the #1 favorite spot for me for this series. And then finishing things off, we have the Supernatural figures. So Werewolf by Night, he's fine. I mean, I didn't really like the special. Not that I disliked it. Again, it's just not really my thing. And then the MCU is getting very messy as it expands. And in my opinion, Werewolf by Night was like a cool night in like the lives of monster hunters. But I thought it did very poor world building for the wider MCU because I don't know how those monsters connect to anything else. And I have no idea when I'm going to see those monsters again because there's just too many projects that are completely disconnected. So that's part of why I don't like Werewolf by Night, because the actual content it is just doesn't appeal to me, and then I think the world building side of it also didn't appeal to me. But this is about the minifigure, and the minifigure looks good. We never saw him in color, but I'm glad he's not in black and white because that wouldn't really fit with the rest of the figures in the series. Great print for the Bloodstone, and again, like dual molded legs, very detailed. He does have fur on his arms and on the sides of his legs, unlike Beast, and again, new hair mold. So that's all cool. But personally, it's like I would have even preferred a minifigure of just Jack Russell rather than the werewolf from that special. And he's an inclusion that I don't think is really needed, and I'll touch on that in a second. Agatha Harkness, also tied for my #1 spot. You already know, WandaVision is my favorite Marvel TV show ever. It's like my 3rd favorite Marvel project ever. Scarlet Witch is my favorite character. Agatha is one of my favorite villains. I love Catherine Hahn. I love Agatha in WandaVision. I am so freaking excited for her TV show. Some people on the internet just don't get how good that TV show is going to be. But with each rumor that comes out about that show, the more excited I get. This minifigure, I also have a Firestar custom design minifigure of Agatha. And that one is fantastic. But the official Lego one, you know, it's official. It's so nice to see an official Lego Agatha Harkness. Perfect hairpiece choice. I do like the face. The face verges on a little bit more cartoony to me than I would like, just because I feel like Lego is sometimes really good at capturing an actor's likeness, and I don't really see Catherine Hahn in that face. But that being said, it definitely works for Agatha. They've got the eyeshadow in there. We have like great printing on the torso and leg piece, and I heard and saw in a review that there's also printing down the back, which is excellent, and purple power blasts are amazing to see. Really excited about that. So yeah, so Agatha, Moon Knight, and Storm are my 3 favorites in this series. These 3 are probably my next favorites just because of how much I like their detail. And then my least favorites in this series are, without a doubt, I guess Wolverine would count as least favorite, but it's really Mr. Knight and it's Werewolf by Night. And so let me go up and show some different images while I talk about this. Here's the thing. It seems like Lego wants to produce at least one minifigure from every Marvel Disney Plus show, which I think is a really admirable pursuit. I think that's excellent. But I really feel like we didn't need Goliath or Werewolf by Night. I also kind of feel like we didn't need Mr. Knight, but you know what? I'll let Mr. Knight pass because I think it's important to have both Steven and Mark together, you know, because they are such a together character because they literally share a body. So I think Mr. Knight gets a pass. But personally, I would have removed Goliath and I would have removed Werewolf by Night, even though I really like the Goliath minifigure, because I don't think we needed What If Series 2 representation in this. and I don't really think we needed Werewolf by Night representation. By including those two figures, it makes me feel like Lego really wants to represent every Marvel Disney Plus show, which is also what I want. I think that that's awesome, and that's what I want to see. But then where's Miss Marvel and Secret Invasion? Because those are clearly being skipped over in this series because What If Season 2, X-Men 97, and no, sorry, just What If Season 2 and X-Men 97. Oh, and Echo, sorry. They are all not released yet. All of the other figures are from shows that have already released by the time this series comes out. But then, like, almost half the series is from shows that release later. So I really would have liked to see Kamala Khan in this series because she has one of the best suits in the entire MCU. And I know she's coming in that Marvel set that's releasing in October, but I don't like that suit design in the MCU. And so I really wish that Kamala was done with a CMF level budget for one of the most beautiful suits in the entire franchise. And honestly, I think Miss Marvel's suit is one of the best superhero suits ever, to be perfectly honest. I think it's one of the best costumes on film ever. That's how good I think it is. So I would have liked to have seen that instead of someone like Goliath or Werewolf by Night. And I also would have liked to see Nick Fury because I want some Secret Invasion representation. So if Werewolf by Night has to stay, so every like Disney Plus project gets some kind of representation, I really would have taken out Goliath because What If as a show was already represented in Series 1, and I would have replaced Goliath with Miss Marvel or Nick Fury, both of which are more recognizable characters, so I also think that they would kind of sell better than Goliath. But that's just my opinion, and again, it's really not a bad series. Like, that's my only complaint about the entire series, is that like I wish Hawkeye had leg printing, and then I just don't want Goliath and Werewolf by Night, but I see why they were included, and I do respect it, even if I don't agree with it. So I really, really just want to eventually get a Miss Marvel that is in her standard suit. But I mean, I don't really need a Nick Fury from Secret Invasion, to be honest, because that show was terrible anyway. So as for accessories, I know this is probably becoming a very long video, but I've been really pent up. I've missed talking about this stuff with you guys. We have a little microscope for Beast. That's cute. Lucky for Kate Bishop. Excellent inclusion. Everyone gets like the little superhero stands. That little baby owl for Hawkeye. Excellent new mold. Oh, Steven gets his little fish tank. That's great. Echo's holding some stick. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure we'll find out in her series. Agatha and the Darkhold. Okay, that's the only accessory I don't like in this series, is the Darkhold. Just because it's the wrong color. Like, she needed to come with the Darkhold, but the Darkhold is like a gray metallic book in the MCU, and it's very clearly gray because in WandaVision you see it in broad daylight in the finale, and so I don't know why the book is colored brown here for the minifigure. I've also seen like the print on the inside of the page in a review, and the print is also like on a tan page, but the book is metal, so I would have just liked to see like either a black or a dark bluish gray book. But yeah, I guess this is the last thing we haven't looked at yet. So, okay, so people do come with extra hair pieces. I don't see extra heads for Steven and Mark. I guess that's another thing I would have liked to have seen, is extra heads for both of them so you can have unmasked variants. But Mark does come with like an unmasked head print on the back of that head. So that's good at least. But yeah, I don't have a lot else to say about the series. I've given you guys all of my thoughts that I possibly could. I just want to take a closer look at Storm's mohawk. Oh, that is huge. That is way bigger than I thought. I thought it was like a little like tuft of hair from the way it looked in the images, but no, that's an excellent piece. I'm so excited for this series. Like, I truly feel like this is better than Series 1. I like the characters in Series 1 more because to me they're more iconic. Like, you can't get more iconic than Captain America and Scarlet Witch, you know? Because, I mean, Wolverine is iconic, but a lot of these characters are, no offense to them, but second tier Disney Plus characters, you know, because the first few Disney Plus shows centered on characters from the movies, and then the next round introduced a bunch of new ones. So to me, there's no one as iconic in here to the MCU as Scarlet Witch and Captain America. Not even Wolverine, because he hasn't been in an MCU project yet. But I do think that the figures as a whole are better. I think that they're more consistent quality-wise, and there were definitely some things I was disappointed about as a fan in the previous series, and I'm not really disappointed by anything here. Again, it's just a personal thing where I would have liked to see characters other than the werewolf and Goliath. but they're both excellent figures for how they've been executed. So, and also, I mean, there's a reason I'm not the one calling the shots on what minifigure gets included in a Marvel series. Because if I was calling the shots, this would be 12 different variants of Scarlet Witch. So, actually, that's a lie. It would be 11 different variants of Scarlet Witch and then Agatha. But yeah, that's a joke, obviously. So those are my complete thoughts on this series. I'm really excited to get it. Like I said, I've already pre-ordered 2 full boxes, and then I will be buying a bunch of random packs as well, because I like spending all my money on Lego sets. So please let me know you guys' thoughts on this series in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.